Okay, 1 second. They're gonna fix the title as well. One second. Speed. Okay, so I'm gonna play the VOD at 1.25.
Again, Sanctum, but mirror matchups here. We'll not see any Orisa shenanigans. Now the Lucio matchup here is so important on Sanctum.
So just to give you guys a briefing like of the matchup here. Basically, what happens? Cruz. He's the foundation for their plays apparently, and Shock, they know that. They position themselves to block Cruz, and Paris have no solutions. They have nothing else. It's basically like a toolbox made by Obey. No, wait. Where is it? If I do this, maybe. Yeah, it's basically like this supreme toolbox. You know, it looks cool, then you open it and you see there's nothing in it.
Because environmental kills can be huge. There's already looking for a move there into the pit. Not going to be able to find any targets to execute, but Super will just be...
So they kill Super, win the first fight here.
Not a lot of healing or speed boost, more flying around the map.
Right, two that certainly come into your mind when you think about who are the best Lucio players in the West. Moth and Cruz both certainly do raise their hands. One down, they'll start building some percentage. Tempest Shock going to be looking to flip that around. There's Eternal. Locking that one down, they'll start building some percentage.
And now this is a mistake by Super. He goes for the long jump, gets stunned, and just focused.
It's huge that the positional advantage they gained from Cruz's right-click kill there actually allows him to take the point first. Then Best holds it, so there's no control charge. And on this particular part of Nepal, the Primal Rage is so important. You get so many environmental kills with it. So really tough for the Shock to close the distance now. Trying to push their way out.
And they just want to build the ults, you know, Primal first here. Let's see. Grav comes out. And Bomb comes out after the Grav. I don't think Vinci should use the bomb here. And I don't know. Like, it doesn't take a genius like Elon Musk to see that. Shadowburn, he has no idea what he's doing when he's bubbling this Diva mech. Vinci has no idea what he's doing when he's damaging into a Grav that has no shields, no bubbles, nothing. There's 3 kills, half of the team is already dead after the bomb. Before the bomb even explodes, I mean. They don't need a bomb. And I think this was probably Fincy autopiloting, Shadowburn autopiloting as well.
You know, that if they hadn't used that ultimate, they'd come in with the big 6. It was going to be a big...
Yeah, rallying to lead will be matched on the other side by Nico.
Both teams use rally.
Moth can make his way over onto the point. Gobin taking a bit of fire now. It's going to dissound barrier into the Bears Eternal as they try to maintain control of the points. Taking a bit of fire now. It's going to dissound.
So Cruz uses beat, and they engage with the beat. Choyobin, he uses bomb right after the beat. I don't think that's correct. He wants to wait a tiny bit. Maybe the bomb is in order to stop the rotations. So like a zoning bomb. If it's a zoning bomb, then it's, you know, correct. But if he looks for kills, it's just objectively not good because of the beat.
Then Best kind of getting disconnected from his squad, and I love to watch a Primal Raging Winston as much as anyone else, but, you know, Super gets that knockoff kill, they regain control of the point. Shadowburn's still 20 away from a
Your body shot.
So it's a huge win to hold this.
Okay, Grab's going to be coming out from Sinatra. corner, but no kills following up on it. Super a little bit disconnected. Was playing back around the side, so didn't have that extra damage from the Winston in there.
We're still 20 away from a grab here,
So let's see.
Okay, Grab's gonna be coming out from Sinatra.
Grav comes out. They don't have enough damage.
On the corner, but no kills following
Also, they
up
can't
on
push
it.
through, right?
Disconnected. Was playing back around the side, so didn't have that extra damage from the Winston in there. Whether or not that would have led to a kill, hard to say.
Yeah, we will have a short pause here.
Now, what's the pause for?
Shock expected here, and we do know, based on their play versus New York very recently,
That extra up on it. Super late. Grab's gonna be coming out from.
point. Shadowburn's still 20 away from a grab here, so it's a huge win to hold this.
Okay, Grab's gonna be coming out from Sinatra, locking him up right around the corner, but no kills following up on it. Super a little bit disconnected. Was playing back around the side.
Well, looks like he can't move.
Extra damage from the Winston.
Ben Best, I mean.
Whether
It looks like he's lagging. I don't know.
How they're playing gets very clear against concluding here.
here since we might have slowing, but the shock pairs play out and be able to take that lead. Seems like things.
This is opening fights, so this is definitely currently Shock favor in terms of positioning, but with only 14% required to flip this point around, and this grab for Shadowburn, this is the moment Paris could win this round.
Yeah, Pilot does not have a Transcendence up yet. He's still going to be 20% away from that ult. Grab's now online for Shadowburn. He's looking for an opportunity, pushing his way back. Troyhoven nearly knocked him back. Grab's going to be thrown into the.
So Grav comes out. They beat that.
Will help keep Fight alive, but Vinci gets him with his self-destruct, taking him down. Now no Transcendence to extend the fight here for the Shock. Going to try to hold on. Now I'll keep Fight alive, knock him back. The Grab's going to be thrown into the choke. Only lock him.
I don't know what Vince is doing here. Sure, he gets the kill onto Violet, but Violet would die anyways.
Gets him with his self-destruct, taking him down. Now no Transcendence to extend the fight here for the Shock. Going to try to hold on with what little tools they have available to them. Troyhoven dumping in the bomb.
Ooh.
Through bubble comes up, Ben Best still getting picked up. Now him taken down. Vinci knocked out. San Francisco Shock actually without their Zenyatta, without a Transcendence used. Looks like they're gonna be able to take this Sinatra. He'll get knocked in the pit, but otherwise that's it.
It's all about Hib's early trance there. Sinatra realizes it, drops in the for early. He these two on the back.
Yeah, Sinatra did really well with that grab.
Primal gets the better of these two. We'll decide this first round. He's going in.
Closer. Yeah, jumps his way.
Ben Best jumps in with Bubble.
Drops his own shield.
He gets booped, so that's why he uses the Primal. I was about to think, like, does he die?
Primal's gonna be out from both of these wins. Looking for a knockoff. Can he get him? Oh, barely got him there.
Got the kill.
Now rejoins in on the point where we're in overtime in the favor of San Francisco.
Super plays really well here.
Look to maintain control. Transcendence is finally going to be used by Violet. Grab comes through from Shadowburn. Transcendence used a little bit early, but they managed to fight Nico at the start. San Francisco grinding away. Seems like they will be able to come out on top of this one as they finish off Ben Best now. Just for good measure. Get that sound barrier through. We'll go ahead and finish off the baby. Even Hip does not stand a chance coming back in.
I don't know. Paris just look lost. They're playing all not all alone, but it's like Shadowburn is delayed with, like, communication onto Finzi here. Finzi's delayed onto with Bubble on to Shadowburn. It's basically like there's a filter in between, or like a delay.
Be lopsided. Countering Shadowburn's. The tank matchup changes now, though. Ryan matchup. A lot more about positioning and maximizing damage in fights and getting sustained by your teammates than environmental kills.
See how these guys are going to be squaring up. Straight in on the point. Here on Shrine Sinatra. Good back angle there into Finzi. Tries to take him down.
Oh, that's nice focus onto Sinatra.
These guys are going to be squaring up. Straight in on the point. Here on Shrine Sinatra.
I can't see his bubble cooldown.
Back angle there into
Oh, he used his bubble, then it. Oh, he's just too slow
Finzi. Tries to take him down.
on rotating.
Gets matched up, taken out.
Yeah, he should be punished for that. Was off position.
The inside track and control of the point as San Francisco goes ahead, calls the retreat. Charge to Shadowburn while Sinatra
Sent to lock, and they will have that map, rather the first point control. That's going to give them an ultimate advantage because they have the defender's advantage in terms of positioning here.
Going to be trying to maintain that. Shadowburn pushing his way up over 50% at the moment. Ben Best going lower and lower, but Super gets routed down onto the low ground. Now has to rejoin in. Violet's still going to be spamming away. Shots around the pillar. Transcendence is online. Hip just now getting his. Rally's going to be out from Nico as he nearly gets taken down. Is online. Hip just now.
Oh, that would have been a big kill onto Shadowburn.
His. Rally's going to be out from Nico as he nearly gets taken down. And Rascal will actually be taken out.
Grab committed though.
Grab will come through. Sound barrier going to be out. Find one kill as Cruz gets taken down, but Hogan's gonna get popped out of the mech. Violent dead just before, now no supports here for the shot.
Sinatra grab
Eternal maintain control, they're getting dead just
and does not can build another high ground, but immediately Paris responds, backs away, and unfortunately there's just no way for Sinatra to do that high ground damage here. Super low.
A bit of a delay onto bubble for Super.
low, grab's gonna be coming out. Violent does have the transcend. Bot's gonna be going up for Fitzy, looking for a pick, gets rid of Super. Picking out that run.
That's a good grab engage because you saw the bubble onto Super.
Perfectly timed charge from Benbest to knock the barrier away so that Vinzi's self-destruct would connect onto Super. Super was clearly the priority target there. Nice shot calling there on the side of the Paris Eternal to lock him down.
And I mean, the worst thing there is that the Shock lose both of their support ultimates, do not have the sound barrier, do not have the trance. It was looking like maybe there was going to be a winnable fight even without a graviton surge available for Sinatra. Cruz going to get picked off.
How does Cruz die?
Like maybe there was going to be a winnable fight even
Oh, Cruz goes for boop on the side.
graviton surge
Oh, that's a good Discord and focus.
available for Sinatra. Cruz going to get picked off though. That's going to be a really good start for them as Rascal finds it. They're getting ready to go into
Nice block.
Super blocks out of the Earth Shatter. 3 members gone on the Paris Eternal. They will be losing this point. San Francisco Shock not going down without a final fight.
Not only is that
I think this is when they realize Cruz goes for the boops all the time.
sustain all of those things. And the potential shatter from Super.
Or you know, they know that beforehand, of course.
Transcendence now online. Rally going to be out from Nico. Armor
So they got to peel back because of Rally.
on the point. Want to get this flip. Want to close out this round to Paul. Sinatra trying to build up that energy, sitting at 60 at the moment. Still push a bubble forward. That's right up in the front, constantly hovering around half HP. Can they finally finish him off? He goes lower and lower. Grab comes out from Shadowburn, locking him up. Violet's got the Transcendence Sand. No one going down, but
Now, grab from Shock with bomb. Wait.
right up in the front, constantly hovering around half HP. Can they finally finish him off? He goes lower and lower. Grab
I don't think Shadowburn should use the bomb, the grab there.
comes out from Shadowburn, locking him up.
So basically, check this. Check it. Shadowburn uses ult, gone. Now, Shock, they still have the point. If Shock doesn't die in the grab, what's Vinci gonna do? That's an ult that's gone as well. Use trance, it's gone. Sinatra, he's gonna use his grab. Choyobin, he's gonna use his bomb. Cruz, he's gonna have to use speed. If they don't win this fight, sure, they come back next fight. Point is gonna be at like 70% or something, but they have no ults. They have 0 ults. They have Benbest probably.
Violet's got the Transcendence Sand. No one going down, but Super around the corner, isolated. They answer back with a grab of their own. The bomb comes down, but Vinci
Gets 2 kills.
Take it out. Now a sound barrier comes in from Moth, trying to get those shields up to the remaining members of the Shock. Moth answers back, finds Benbest out. Hit gonna be gone. Shock maintains
Still,
control.
okay,
Crazy
2
fight.
kills,
Their ult
sure.
advantage
Next fight,
got them
it's
to
gonna
the
be 70% or something.
energy advantage, and he's trying desperate approach for Paris. He's gonna try to use
Yeah,
that
76,
to win this
78.
round to bring us to a
Yeah. So now they come back. Shadowburn, he has a grab. Okay.
third one.
I didn't think he would get another grab.
It's all about how Sinatra can manage that energy right now and do that extra damage.
Shatter comes in. Oh, Benbest.
That's a big shatter.
Come out. Tries to get the pin, but it's unable to find it. Answering Shatter comes through from Super, locking up a couple. And Nico's gonna be one moment now. He's gonna be taken down. Grab comes in from both sides. Everybody gonna be locked up. Standoff. They just stare at each other. A couple kills gonna be coming through from either side. Treyobin not
So Moth is dead. Choyobin has no mech. Benbest is dead though.
lower and lower, but they're able to keep the Baby Diva alive. And he's pistoling his
Shadowburn dies.
back into the back. Now Shadowburn and Cruz gonna be
How could they position differently?
taken down. Grab comes in from both sides. Everybody gonna be locked up. Standoff. They just stare at each other.
Oh, he has Sinatra shooting him in the back as well all the time.
Treyobin knocked out of the back, going lower and lower, but they're
It's just a rough position for Shadowburn, because if he doesn't cover from this flank, Sinatra's gonna shoot him, right? If he doesn't cover from this one, well, if he covers from either side, he's gonna get shot at.
able to keep the Baby
He's dead in both scenarios,
alive. And he's pistoling his
or
way back.
like from both angles.
Shadowburn and Cruz gonna be gone. OT taken away. No one onto the point.
I think that was poor ult usage from Paris, because they needed to win one fight. One fight. Why not wait for your Diva bomb?
It's in progress as much as possible.
In general, this squad
Higher on average energy.
We can check the stats here for Nepal. So 19.70 is 19.7k versus 25k. That's a lot of damage. Violet 16k versus Hip on 16k, 11k I mean. He does a lot more healing though. So much more healing. But I think that's because maybe Shock plays quicker than Paris. And also they had a longer, they started holding on Nepal first round. So Rascal and Nico, they're pretty equal. Muff and Cruz. Muff does a tiny bit more damage, they're kind of equal. And the devs, they're from like teamfight devs, right? Super does a lot more damage than Ben Best. That's natural if you end up winning. No, not winning. What am I talking about? I don't know how he does so much more damage. Anyways.
More kills, but he's building his ultimate about 20 seconds faster as well. So Shadowburn, right? He's a legend. For those who've never heard of Shadowburn, first of all, we're
to match point to be able to take away this really put up a serious fight support lineup.
pick to get an
On this map, Rascal played so well.
angle here to try to take high ground away. Choyobin pops up high.
Okay, so for you who might not have followed like Rascal and his development on Tracer, not Tracer, I mean Brig. Used to seem like he's lost, or like he's on a different wavelength. Like when Super engages or aggresses, Rascal pulls back. When Super pulls back, Rascal goes forward. Now, in this game, he basically fixed everything.
To get vision on whether everyone's up on this high ground. He's able to confirm it.
So Paris, they're playing with they're setting up here for
Now they're gonna try to use this right side of
the IT like block.
Come out, pushing it straight underneath. Not going to be going for the staircase to match them. They want them to come downstairs, which is exactly what Paris is going to do. So they get them.
Bruce, he's gonna look for the boobs.
Off the high ground.
Keep an eye on Rascal and his position to Super.
No shot going to be that awkward spot at the back of the point.
He goes for these flails, right?
Need to make their way in.
He does it so he procs his passive.
On the limousine to start getting this point taken.
And Best is the target here, but he's supported.
They always keep an eye on Cruz. When Cruz is back here, they engage. Or they go forward. When Cruz is moving in, they fall back.
Well, ooh, early bubble there that could cost them. They're gonna collapse.
Focus, Violet almost taken.
Now Moth goes in for the boop. Oh, they really try to kill Ben Best.
stays alive for a little bit longer, but still has a
And Moth boops away Cruz. Like, he can't play the game.
Violet just going to be spamming away. They work their way onto the point. Transcendence going to be online. Him close behind. Double support ultimates are here for Paris. Sound Barrier is going to be coming through, but it's too late to save Pincey's mech. Gets the baby demon out, the Shatters out. Locking him in. Pin goes through. Ben Best taken out. Shadowbird killing himself
They rely so much on Cruz.
off with a right click. The explosive damage.
I'm surprised they keep playing like this. Paris, I mean. And not like add some variation. So grab his Ethan.
Taking that one away, the defense matrix completely denying that Zarya access. Now, Graviton Surge going to be in from Shadowburn. Is not going to be taken by Choyobin. Bombs up from him into the back, looking for a pick. Does not find it so far. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Now a 2-for-1.
Oh, that's a good count. Oh. Okay, so let's break this down. So, Pinsy, he aids in Arthur's Grav. Shadowburn, he finds a Grav here. They kill Moth. Choyobin, he uses his bomb in order to stop Paris from going into the Grav, right? Shoots it above. They need to fall back. Ben Best, he dies. Now, they've traded Reinhardt for Lucio. Nico, I have no idea what he's doing, but he's walking in, going on a Sunday stroll. Shadow comes in because there's no shields. Easy blocks, you know, easy kills.
We've been talking about Sinatra, you know, winning the Zarya versus Zarya. He's doubling Shadowburn's damage right now. His grab
Sinatra doubling
was absorbed
Shadowburn's damage.
defense matrix, but yet he has another one already. 95%. He was the one doing all the damage in that fight. Zarya, Sinatra says it's not a tank, but a DPS, in fact. And he's got this grab ready to go for this streets phase.
So now they use bomb, and Shock they simply speed back. And Paris used the bomb because Shadowburn doesn't have any grav, so that's the only thing they can do, right? Sinatra killed Shadowburn. Nico killed. You have no idea what to do. Like when they're not playing against slow teams, they have no idea what to do because they rely so much on Cruz.
Nice early take. Now they've controlled this. Now look at how they're positioned right now. There's not a lot.
Moff is sitting on the middle here in order to be ready for both sides. They scouted, see them coming out here.
Isolate one single target as soon as they spread out. They're heading to the other side now. But this indecision means a free push to B. I actually appreciate Paris'
I don't.
decision not to fight in the choke point and just give them the better timing, because otherwise they're going to give too many ults to the San Francisco. At a very poor.
You know, if Paris were rappers, it would they're basically trying to rap like Eminem, you know, but they are trying to do it with peanut butter in their mouth at the same time.
Still gonna be trying to fight them right here in the studio entrance. Super round.
That's like, it looks like they're choking. I'm not sure if they're choking, but they don't know what to do, so it's probably choking. You like stand still, trying to analyze, and you just like you're aware of what's happening, but you can't act on it.
For the moment, not gonna get punished for that. Cart will start to advance. Ryan's right up into the front. They isolate Ben Best, but he makes it back over to his
Cruz
squad.
tries to go for a boop here. Rascal is just blocking the boops, and Super backs off.
Of these Brigittes. Every time Ben Best comes around this corner, he just takes a beating.
This is so well done by Super, not Super, but Shockami. And worth mentioning here.
Working his way back into cover.
So Ben Best, he's positioned to the right side. Moth goes in, and Ben Best shields himself from the boop. So he knows the boop is gonna come in, but he doesn't realize this is opening for the Shatter. So easy.
Just keep him alive. It's not gonna be enough for Nico, however.
This is fundamental bad positioning. Fundamentally bad positioning.
Finish off, Finzi. Taking a bit of damage here. Ben Best and him gonna be taken down. Another clean fight from the Shock. Super has been just.
Yeah, Spoopy, that's
Shatter after shatter. He is just nailing him.
that would be unlucky. Wouldn't the doctor lose the license though, instead of you? I mean,
that means that Super gets an angle there. The most important thing as a Reinhardt player,
I don't know how it works, but
opponent's barrier does not block it. A bit of geometry here. And he's already halfway to another one as they push around this corner.
that's basically, I don't know a reference, but it's basically like telling Paris before the game, like, they're gonna focus Cruz, so like, let's do something else.
Working their way up. Such a great
You like saved him.
by the Shock. Still 3.5 minutes remaining in the time bank. Getting ready to finish. Hollywood just rolled up right to that VIP slot. Both these Briggs gonna be hitting the ground. Going lower and lower. Grab comes in. Locks up two. Violet dives in with the transcendence to keep his.
So even though, okay, check this. Grav is about to come out.
Briggs gonna be hitting the ground. Going
Sure, Grav comes out.
lower and lower. Grab comes
Where's
in.
Fincy though?
Two. Violet
Fincy, what are you doing,
dives in
dude?
with the trans.
He's doing nothing. He's not in position to bomb either, I think, because he'll get killed in Baby Diva form. So what can you do? Paris. There's always something going wrong. Now both of them uses bomb.
Comes out, shot, Shatter again from Super, finds 3, but the kills aren't quite there yet. He could go lower and lower, one more hit of the hammer would have finished him off, but Super's gonna try to get his way back to his squad. The Cruz manages to find the kill, and that is gonna be the retreat call coming into the Shock.
As beautiful as the Shatter was, they could not confirm the kills. Now they're going to get staggered here a little bit. Sinatra is the target.
Sinatra gets focused.
Chase any further than that, or you're at risk of getting wiped yourself if respawns come through. Sinatra still maintains high energy because he did not die, and this is their opportunity to close out the map with no defending transcends from him. He's almost there, 15% away. That's the grab that's going to get them the good time bank.
Straight back into it, 100 energy here from Sinatra. Grabs on search.
There it is.
That's a strong grab. That's a really strong grab.
Throws it down. Down barrier is there, but does not matter.
I don't know. Like, Finzi has been like on his own mission this map. Shadowburn, he goes on his own thing. He doesn't really talk with the teammates, it feels like. He's known for all low communication as well. I don't know if he fixed it, but it doesn't look like it. Cruz, he's just doing his own thing, can't really do it, right?
There's so much
Nico is off position as well.
damage from his hit.
Going for stuns when he shouldn't.
Shock, they just go ahead, wipe the floor with the Paris Eternal, knock Finzi out of the back, finish him off, and they will go ahead and work their way through to the finish line on Hollywood. 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
Just hit
It down. 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Yeah, big matchup coming through. Bren.
Let's see the defense here.
Spicy prediction, which on Disney XC makes the rest of this series.
right now. Sinatra, Achilles sitting at exactly 10,000 damage. Very pretty number here, whereas Shadowburn sits at 5,300 to nearly
Sinatra almost does double the damage. That's a big problem.
double again. And it's a lot of the time bubble management for Shadowburn that's costing him position. He can't number. And it's a lot of the time Shadowburn sits at 5,300 to nearly double again.
I don't know what Finzi is doing here. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that. You don't need to waste your matrix on this.
And it's a lot of the time
You see, he goes under half HP. Now they can't do anything, right?
management for Shadowburn that's costing him position. He can't get in there to do the damage if he's under attack non-stop.
Well, similar approach coming through for Paris, but they try to shift back to the front actually, so changing.
That's a good kill on him.
Very crucial pickup as Hip gets taken down, and now with them playing around.
Now they don't have matrix. They don't have a Zen. And Shock they can engage.
The rest of Paris Eternal is nigh impossible. Honestly, Shock still pushing forward. They're feeling bloodthirsty at the moment. Ben Best, he's backed into a corner, and Super's just swinging away like a madman.
When you're in this situation,
They're just punishing. They're punishing bad positioning by Finzi, for example. Shadowburn using bubbles early on. You just drop on them.
as Paris, Cruz is trying to back half here.
It worked once.
When,
Let's
when
try
you're
again.
in this situation here, you just want to die as fast as possible because the longer the fight goes, Shock just gets way more ults than you. They already won it. The reason why that happened is
It looks like... I think Paris looks like a team that doesn't think like a... You know, they don't have the hive mind anymore. They had it before, early on, but now they don't. It's like everyone is trying to pull to their own side. Like trying to do their own thing. Everyone wants to win, but everyone tries to like drag it their way. Why not try to tie up everything? Probably try it, right? Probably are trying.
Violet was watching the doorway and Hip was
But
trying
there's
to cut
these,
off
like,
the rest of the
blockades.
squad to get
Like, you
Shock
can
to
see
the
it.
backs of the heads of the Shock members who collapsed down to the Paris Eternal, but Violet already knew where he'd be. He gets that kill. Now he's got a Transcendence. It's going to be a long time before Paris Eternal can hope to take a realistic team fight here on A because of that botched first attack and the ult advantage that Shock now holds because of it.
Yeah, barring a miracle here. We'll see. Going for a similar approach again. Sinatra up onto the high ground. Not that high of energy with the grab. About to be online. Oh, they almost pick off. I believe it was Cruz there. But he does manage to make it out with his life. Shifting around. You can see this hesitation. Not sure which way to go, how to approach this point.
They're just
They're trying to do... Oh no. They're doing a mayhem. This is what mayhem does as well. It's really common. Okay. This is from a coaching perspective. Not from a play perspective. Or analysis perspective. Well, yeah. So they push in, right? They see the enemies here. What can we do? Let's make eyes. No. They see the enemies, right? Now, they decide to rotate backwards. See then miss. They waste time. Like, there's a choke here, and there's a choke here. Mayhem does this as well. They do like these cute rotations, like, oh, let's go for fake. And then hope that Shock doesn't know how to play fundamentals. You see, Shock has better line of sight here with corners and all. Cruz, I think this is, they try to go back to their default strat where Cruz can just go for the boops. And they hope, you know, that Shock is not gonna react to it. Super, he knows it. Rascal keeps an eye. Sinatra, he can keep an eye as well. Moth keeps an eye.
Closer and closer. Rally's gonna be out. Rascal gonna be matching now. Nico initiated it. The first take on here on.
Moth is ready for the boop.
Will be coming through. Paris gained that one for free. San Francisco playing this one out patiently. Shatter comes down.
That's a big shatter onto his hip. Sinatra goes low.
From Violet. Shadowburn not yet. To that graviton surge. Sinatra beats him there. Throws it down. The bomb coming in. Gonna find two. Shadowburn and Cruz gonna be taken out. Finzi even knocked out of the
Do you guys see this?
mech in San Francisco.
So you have to choose some field in which you operate at your best capacity and which will
You're not playing with game sense.
as an influence.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. They're not playing with game sense when they're doing long rotations like that, or, you know, trying to go for cute stuff. For example, Mayhem does it as well. They take these long rotations, like spend 1 minute on a push. And that's most likely, well, it's usually not based on game sense. So it's either something coaches bring up, or someone calling it, but, you know, that doesn't know any better solution. Missing knowledge, basically.
Early barrier had to go up. Now they get to hold their own sound barrier. Moth still has that. The Shadowburn is only just now approaching his grab. We're running out of time here for the Paris Eternal. This fight has to be it, realistically.
I mean, he's got it online.
And with Violet Moth almost
Cruz is half HP.
portals, but it's going to be real hard to
Now, they gotta fall back again. You see this? They go in, but Cruz is low HP, so they gotta fall back.
get value. And with the Paris Eternal, this fight has to be it, realistically.
I mean, he's got it online.
It's because he's wall riding here and he's being shot at.
And with Violet
Like, what is Cruz even doing up here? What is his objective? I'm trying to figure out here. I don't think it's anything strategical. I bet you he's not trying to scout. Maybe it's autopilot.
Moth almost having both support ultimates up. It's going to be real hard to get value out of that.
Now he speeds through, so he uses speed.
He has to do it somehow, though. It has to be this fight.
He's got no
And because they use speeder, now they can't go back to the corner.
Tobin takes this away with the defense matrix. That could just be it. Goes ahead, throws it down.
Oh, they secure the corner.
The limousine.
So here, Grav comes out and this, well, Grav is placed here on the ground, on the cross. Vinci is gonna send a bomb back here. Now, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I know this is not gonna be a good bomb.
Locking him in. The bomb going into the back. They get the pin. That's going to be
It gets super, but it's still not a good bomb. It's a bad bomb.
super taken out. A good start for the Paris Eternal, but can they get more? Nico going to be taken down now. Cruz that's going to be super down on top of the limousine. Locking him in. The bomb going into the back. They get the
Super dies because of the pin.
pin. That's going to be
So if,
super taken on top of
now if we
the
see
limousine,
here,
locking him in.
Actually, I'm wrong. I'm wrong in this. I'm way too wrong. I think it was set up. That's actually what they wanted. I think so. I thought it wasn't because of the grab, but then I see they solo grab super. So maybe they intended on a solo grab. Did they actually intend on a solo grab? Yeah, they did.
Goes ahead, throws it down on top.
I think so. Yeah.
The limousine, locking him in.
So actually, I'm wrong in this. That was a good play.
They get the pin, that's gonna be super taken out. A good start for the Bears Eternal, but can they get more? Nico gonna be taken down now. Cruz gonna be taken out.
Unfortunately, it's not enough.
Will lose out on the mech, but Paris are losing out on the match. The clean sweep comes through. They'll finish off Finzi with a bit of a stagger here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, Spoopy.
He yet again holds the transcendence. They still have it.
But the good thing is, well, I guess there's some good parts. It's, you know,
For this next attack, really nice target.
you filter, how to say, no, not filter, but I guess you can see differences in like good, like, how to say, I'm not sure if that's a skill, you know, spotting, but it probably is. You can see like differences in, I guess, the skill of being a nurse. I'm not sure. If you're good at it, I mean. It's not really a good lay. Good play. Well, so here's the thing. I think it's a good play because they want to secure the run kill. Now they end up dying because they get grabbed back. So Ben Best, he might be alone, right? He might be alone, but the issue is that Sinatra is coming in with his grab here and kills them. That's where the issue is. I don't think Ben Best is going to receive enough damage to die here. But you're forgetting about Sinatra and Violet. So they get a single grab onto Nico. Shadowburn, he steps back, gets sucked in, Cruz gets sucked in, and now they don't have any protection. Vinci, he could have been, I don't know. He couldn't have eaten, I think. No, he couldn't have eaten. But you can clearly see, like, Shadowburn steps in, Cruz steps in. They're probably not thinking. And this is a free kill. Now, the play before, I think it was fine. Just that they forgot to guard themselves from the grab. For example, if they played it a bit more safe with the back, you know, the rest of the team in the back there, it would have been better. No, it wouldn't have been better. Because the play still gets the same value. It would have been easier to follow up afterwards.
So many to set up these single kill when suddenly Sinatra and Chauvin are cutting off your back line. We're going to see if they can make this happen, but they do not have the tools. They're going to basically have to win this without ultimates. It's going to have to be through.
So I'd say, Shock, they did an even better play by recovering, you know, with their grab.
Individual plays.
So both plays can be good. You know, even if you lose a fight, for example, you can still do a good thing, right? It can be a good decision. But if the enemy makes an even better decision, it doesn't make the past decision bad, if that makes sense. It's just a more efficient, more better. Sort of like SpaceX versus NASA.
Let's see how they fare. Violet starts sinks off of the transcendence. Knows that Shadowburn is so far away from that grab. They can use that ultimate willy-nilly. Sinatra's gonna have to grab online. Throws it down to the back of the limo. Sound barriers out from Cruz. They're stacking the support ultimates.
That's a nice pin.
Now they're shattered down. Shadowburn's gonna be knocked onto the ground, but they're trying
Yep.
to get him.
Nice. Almost.
Into the back. Manages to stay alive. Bomb out from Finzi, looks for a pick, but doesn't come up with. Works his way into the back. Manages to stay alive. Bomb out from Finzi, looks for a pick, but doesn't come up with anything. So he hoping to be popped out of the back.
That was a close bomb.
Sinatra under fire. Nearly gets taken down.
I just want to mention one thing here as well. Okay, so when Paris come in here, look at their ults. Violet has a trance. Sinatra has no grav. They have a shatter. They will get bomb. Yep, he has a trance. Will get beat. They will get shatter, and they have rally. You have two support ults versus one support ult. Now let's go back.
Mechanical individual plays.
2 support ults versus 1 support ult.
Timings from the supports from Paris Eternal. Let's see
Trans used early,
how they fare.
and they used Trans early because they don't have a grab.
Top of the Transcendent, Snows and Shadowburn so far away from that grab. They can use that ultimate willy-nilly. Sinatra gonna have to grab online. Throws it down to the back of the loop.
Now they stack the support ults. This is bad. And this is communication mistakes. And the communication about this should have been done back here. No, even back here. Right now they should have been talking, you know, about what they want to do, what ults they have, etc. And, for example, before the match, you know, make up the graph scenarios. But because it's the last fight, because it's overtime, they probably tunnel vision and, yeah, don't realize it.
They're stacking the support ultimates. The pin comes in and Benbest gets picked off. Now they're shattered down.
They only needed beat there.
Shadowburn gonna
And they can keep their Zen out of line of sight.
They're gonna have to grab online from far away from that grab. They can use that ultimate willy-nilly. Sinatra gonna have to grab on.
So Hip, he's making the mistake here. He is making the mistake because he doesn't need to use trans. Vinci shouldn't even be that low.
So far away. See how they fare. Violet starts things off with the Transcendence. Knows that Shadowburn is so far away from that.
He's getting discorded and then focused by Sinatra on high ground.
They can use that ultimate willy-nilly. Sinatra
So I think Vinci's like walking into Sinatra's line of sight way too often.
throws it down to the back of the limo. Sound barrier. So he opened. Thinks trying to build up that Transcendence, but a little bit longer.
He turned the fight off.
Able to get the grab, but Sinatra comes back in high energy, takes out 2, but Shadowburn gets him. So he opened alone onto the point. Violet trying to stay alive. Can't
They almost lost this though. They almost lost it. And
do much.
they had advantage.
Prepares on A.
Killing massive after super shatter there. Weren't able to confirm the kill. That longer fight. The Transit Violet just now finished. Would have been so useful to turn it around, but he didn't have it.
Well, Sinatra pushing forward, looking for the grab, throws it down, locks him in, but
Violet's a bit slow on the trans there.
gets taken out. Shadowburn again comes up with a kill on him.
I think Violet expected Sinatra to stay alive with the bubble.
There's going to be no kills found for the Shock thus far. Super holding on to that shatter, slams it down.
Or they full commit to it.
Find anything, the shield comes up. And Best going lower and lower. The grab comes in from Shadowburn. They lock
That's not good. I don't think they should full commit there.
up. So he opened by himself, pop him out, finish.
Transcends fight, but didn't happen. Rally armor. The shot, huge mistake.
Well,
They're
Bob,
caught.
to start things off, Pincy throws, but now they don't have that time to be picks. They zone them back to get a little bit more distance with the card, but now they don't have that combined with anything. Answering bomb from Trehoben, not gonna find a pick, but they do manage to hound down Benbest, get rid of that Reinhardt, follow up on a shadow. Not gonna find
I want to see the positioning.
Pincy throws it in, but doesn't find any picks. They zone them back.
Or because they use the bubbles, they use the bomb, I think. And because they need to fall back in one big, in one straight
They get a little bit more distance
direction.
with the card, but now they don't have that combined with
So Bamba singled out. Bomb breaks the bubble, which makes it so that Violet can snipe.
answering bomb from Trehoben, not gonna find
Cruz got, I think Cruz got melted by Sinatra earlier on.
Benbest, get rid of that Reinhardt,
Shadowburn found.
Not entirely sure.
distance with the card, but now they don't have that combined with anything. Answering bomb from Trehoben, not gonna find a pick, but
I think Shadowburn shouldn't have gone back up there. He needs to get back.
they do manage to hound down Benbest, get rid of that Reinhardt.
He doesn't get anything on the energy at all.
Not entirely sure why he lost. Really nice disengagement. Shadowburn gets staggered for the shock. This fight has to go very well for Paris Eternal. They've got the support ultimate advantage once again. That's how they have to get this in.
I mean, they can move this into point B, but even then, they'll bump up their time bank very slightly, but still will have a lesser time bank compared to the San Francisco Shock if they can finish the map.
Not
Getting
gonna-
closer and closer. Shock giving them a lot of space to work with before
That's a big shatter.
they go up, if they can finish the map.
Now let's see.
Closer and closer. Shock giving
Benbest gets booped. And because of the boop, he gets the shatter.
space to work with before they go on the offensive. Shadow comes down, so not going to be knocked to the ground in the back, but he manages to stay alive.
And then he tries to pin. So he gets shattered in the back.
Knocked down.
I think Shadowburn tried to block the shatter.
Out from Super, takes him down. The pin goes through. Nico now going to be eliminated. Vinci's back. Cannot hold up. They pop him out. The Transcendence is there from him to try to keep everybody else alive. Answering grab through onto the members of the Shock, but they need the kills. Bomb comes in.
Shock, they have better synergy, better tactics. They don't stack support ults, for example.
Cruz. The rest of the squad will go down.
They have some, you know, questionable beats and all that, but yeah, Paris, they lost big fights. Almost lost big fights with big advantages as well. Let's go for the next map. Horizon.
Right, so sometimes even when they lose a member used too early, they're playing around Sinatra. They want him to be the carry, right? So sometimes even when they lose a member, they support ult afterwards so that Sinatra can do that damage. There has been some missed moments there for sure, but generally speaking.
So Super is on Reinhardt here instead of Winston because I think he's more comfortable on Reinhardt.
Management for Sinatra is getting him high energy, and then he's doing the damage in these fights. Now we're going to see Paris try to control.
And that's a smart thing. You play to your strengths. As going into swing.
Sinatra still up above, but doesn't have the best line of sight to try to get some damage weaved in. Yeah, so now.
And that was a good play. A small play. I mean, it's not a play. It's more like you get bubbled, right? You get bubble and swings. You have 50% versus 10. Or not. Just being very efficient. That's very similar to NYXL. So watch this. They drop down, swing with bubble, now they play defensive and rotate back to point. Because it's gonna be another 6 seconds or so until they take the next fight. Until the fight actually starts. Paris, they could punish this, but Sinatra is on high ground, so they can't really do it. They can't find a strong punish. Also, Hip doesn't have good line of sight. And now when they rotate back to point on Shock's end, they're gonna have support ult. No, not support ult. They're gonna have the bubbles back.
Doesn't have the best line of sight to try to get some damage weaved in. So for now, not going to be building up too much. Nico going low. They almost find Hip, but the armor pack from Nico will help keep him alive. Pairs work their way on.
And they are falling back until they have the friendly. There's the friendly used. It's so efficient. Now he doesn't get the energy, but you know, who cares? Sometimes you can't.
No chance of turnaround for the Paris Eternals, so have to go ahead, reset, and reapproach.
The best way to run advantage to attack.
Paris should disengage there.
Because if they don't, they will lose the point, right? They get a tick
When,
like this.
well, they shouldn't disengage. Let's see what they actually did. So Super used this I mean, Sinatra used this bubble. They don't have the bubbles yet. Have bubbles been used? Nope. I don't know what's happening with their bubbles. On Paris side. They engage without the bubble, I think. And then, yeah, you just, you know, kite it back.
Management for Shadow expired, and then he and Nico had no protection against the oncoming damage from Sinatra. They get burned down. And
oh, yeah, Shadow doesn't get any bubble at all. Any energy, I mean. That's a good attempt to boop.
Where the approach is going to come through.
What is Nico doing that far up? Like he's in front of Ben Best. Why? Why is Nico in front of Ben Best? He needs to be behind because otherwise, you know, he doesn't stop any boops, right? I don't know. I don't think they're playing together here. It's very clear they are not playing with the same... maybe they're trying like to shoehorn, like, okay, everyone focus, one target, shout louder, scream more. Ryan. Yeah, attack dogs. Maybe they're trying that, and then everyone tunnel visions forward. So maybe they are trying to play together here, but it's the wrong thing. Like you need to play like chess. You can't play tic-tac-toe here. So Oh, you can actually play tic-tac-toe. Okay. I'm gonna be Paris with cross. And then Shock without the cross. This is Paris. Okay. Okay, never mind. We won. I didn't intend on winning. Okay, we won again. I don't know. They are just going in one straight line, doing one thing. They forget about the backs. Yeah. I didn't intend on winning both times. Shock is the X.
This is another one of those moments where you can see the mind works as one here for the Sims are able to identify and communicate. They're taking the same approach angle they did previously. They're trying to drop us down, but I'm going to take the other side, drop down this time. I'm not going to drop down as early as I did last time. Super conveys this, gets the back shatter there where there's no one looking for the Eternal because they did a repeated push the same way they did previously. Nice adaptation here for the Shock, gets them a huge time burn here, down to 1:30 on the clock. Clearly.
Here we go, trying this one again. Wrapping around the backhand side, Sinatra gets stunned up, goes low, but Violet is there with the Transcendence to keep him alive. Transcendence already used by him. Cruz not able to get the sound barrier in time. Sinatra just bursts him down. And that will be two members effectively gone as Fizzy gets popped out of the mech bed best. Trying to stay alive.
You guys want to see what it looks like when you play without game sense?
Push the same way they did previously.
This is without game sense.
Adaptation here for the Shock, gets them a huge
Push upstairs.
time burn here. Down to
And the diva sees that you're not committing. Like, you're not fooling anyone. When you're sitting here in stairs, Rascal sees you. They're gonna have people standing here. They're gonna see you. You're not fooling anyone. I don't know. What are you thinking? You open to Gravs. They're gonna drop on you. Like, what are you expecting here? This is not gonna work.
the 1:30 on the clock, clearly.
It might work versus easy bots and custom games, but when you don't have scrims,
Trying
but
this one again. Wrapping around the backhand side, Sinatra gets stunned up, goes low, but Violet is there with the Transcendence to keep him alive. Transcendence already used by him. Cruz not able to get the sound barrier in time. Sinatra just bursts him down. And that'll be two members effectively gone as Fizzy gets popped
I don't think they're playing with discipline.
out of the mech bed best.
Should Paris have gone left? I think they should have gone upstairs and force the fight.
Trying to stay alive. Here we go.
The same way they did
Okay, so if we
previously.
go back here.
Nice adaptation.
They don't have ults. They have Grav here on Shock side. You're gonna get grabbed here. If they go stairs, they're gonna get grabbed. If they go space, they're gonna get grabbed. They're gonna get grabbed in all scenarios. Now, Sinatra needs to be pushed off high ground. They need to flush the high ground. What they're trying to do here is they're trying to speed past and go point. Just go point. Just go point forehead. This is like 7 head. Like that's how deep into the rabbit hole they are. And they're thinking, okay. They're not gonna drop on us, they're not gonna rotate with us, and we get to point for free. Moff here, he's an actual genius. Like actually a genius. Legitimate genius. I'm pretty sure he already knows what they're doing here. He sees the pattern. Super is pretty smart as well. There's no way they're gonna let them do this. So I think force the fight, take the Grav, reset. You have 2 minutes to work with. Be more time efficient.
Here for the Shock, gets them a huge
Here we go, trying this one again. Wrapping around the backhand side, Sinatra gets stunned up, goes low, but
So Hip uses trance. Sinatra hasn't used his Grav yet. Cruz doesn't have B.
Violet is there with the Transcendence to keep him alive.
So he goes for the Grav after because trance is gone, right?
Transcendence already used by him.
Cruz is dead. You have no more support ults. What can you do?
Able to get the sound barrier in time. Sinatra just bursts
Nothing.
it down. And that'll be two members effectively gone as Fizzy gets popped out of the mech bed best. Trying to stay alive, but they are pooping him back. They're keeping him contained in the room, and now the cleanup will come to
Best has had some great moments throughout the series, especially the Finzi self-destruct.
He spent 1 minute on that fight.
Sometimes in these fights, looks like he's trying to be the hero. That shatter there was never gonna
You see, now they don't have ults anymore here. Well, they're gonna have some ults.
turn the fight, unfortunately, after
Now they can be quick again.
members of the Eternal were final push. Shadowburn has a grab versus no support ultimate, so that's their win condition here. He just needs to get into position to use it.
Please don't do the same thing. Okay.
Not beaten by
Now
Nico
they go
there,
upstairs.
Oliver.
Gonna push their way up. Nico almost getting bursted down right at the
Now
start.
they get a good grab.
Coming through. Benbeth's gonna be knocked down by the shatter bomb. Nico almost getting bursted down right at the start. Bob's gonna be coming through. Benbeth's gonna be knocked down. Gonna push their way up.
Watch the bomb. Watch the bomb. It's the easiest bomb to block. You don't even need to do that. You don't need to make it slide.
Not gonna be able to find any picks. There's Bob's gonna be coming through. Benbeth's
I don't know why Cruz uses his beat either.
gonna be knocked down by the shatter bomb. Not gonna be able to find any picks. There's Colonel though. They have the sound barrier to help
So because they use beat, they just disengage.
get them over to the point, and him
Yeah.
still holding on to that transcendence. Limited ultimates available for the shock. This could be a winnable fight for Paris. Let's see what they can get done.
Benbeth goes for
Ultimates available
hero
for the
pin.
Shock. This could be a winnable fight for Paris.
He gets
See what
booped
they
away.
can get done. Start
He gets super with the booped pin.
off with that first tick. Super gonna be taken down.
Oh, I'm getting that emote there, minion. I commissioned it.
This is gonna be gone. They need a lot more though if the shock want to get this full hold. Transcendence gonna be gone from him. Violet, he needs picked up before he can use his ultimate. That could be the opening that they desperately needed to break here onto point A.
That's a good kill onto Violet.
Ready to come through. They grab that one in overtime. Ryobich's gonna be pushing to the back. Very low HP, drops in with the in overtime. Ryobich's gonna be pushing to the back. Very low HP, drops in one in overtime. Ryobich's
Check Vinci. Check Vinci.
gonna be pushing to the back.
I think he uses his boosts with cancels immediately.
Very low
Then he walks into line of sight.
HP, drops in with the
Sinatra ready with the body block.
bomb. Looking
I think Vinci could have walked off the map.
for a pick, but
Off the point. Be safe. I think so.
is unable to find it. Shadowburn will just take him out. Finds Vinci's neck, but that's about it. Super rejoins, comes in the backside, doesn't get a pin, almost gets taken down. One final swing from Benbeth does get him. The shatter comes out. They lock him down. The cap will come through. Paris Eternal hold it on. They get an extra 4
That was a good hold by Shock.
minutes on the clock.
Huge play by Nico there in that fight to stun Violet, prevent the Transcends. If that Transcends goes off, San Francisco has Sinatra on point. He can do so much damage. They have staggered respawns here, the Shock. There's a huge opportunity for a double cap.
The kills are right there at the end. So late in the fight. They're able to push over. 1.5
Now they see Trans, they're waiting with Grav.
holding on to the grab.
Grav eaten. That's big. Get Grav back.
1.5 ticks for free.
Choyobin is waiting for him here. He knows he's gonna go behind Super Shield and Grav. There's no other reason why you would go behind Super Shield after the trance.
Holding on to the grab and take it away. Troy Omen says no, not today.
It's like reading a children's book.
Just that one right up from underneath of him. The cleanup will come through. This is the shock. Find the kills. Super will be taken down, but the team pretty much crushed at the moment. They will start their retreat.
It feels like the Paris Eternal are crumbling under pressure here in some of these fights. This is a fight where too many ults were committed. It looks like it might have been the double cap, right? But as soon as the delaying transcendence comes out for Violet and everyone's on the point, you've got to realize in this moment, this is not the push that gets you B. Several ultimates committed there for the Paris Eternal, but it's definitely A, they finally fought.
It's just him picking off him.
He picks off him. Boom.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof, oof, oof.
It's just him picking off him.
Picks off him. Boom. Yeah.
Weaving him through.
Yeah. Nice play there. But I mean, look at this situation now. I mean, they have to just build ultimates slowly. This is not going to be the fight they want to commit to any ultimates. They just want to build them.
Drop their way down. Valley's going to be out from Nico.
Peak with the brutal honesty. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. It's just what I feel. Like, it's so easy to read.
Sound barrier through from the shot. Now matched by Cruz. Everybody going to be shielded up. Grab comes down. Sinatra's not going to be taken away. Now matched by Cruz. Everybody going to be shielded up. Grab comes down. Sinatra.
What is Vinci doing here?
Drop their way down. Valley's going to be out from Nico. Sound
Oh, he used his matrix.
through from the shot. Now matched by Cruz. Everybody going to be shielded up.
So maybe he's recharging matrix.
Sinatra's not going to be taken away. Locks him in. They're looking for the kills now. It seems like they're going to be able to find him too. Going over the way of the shock. Only losing out on Sinatra so far. The cleanup will be there.
The idea of the
Yo, Tifer.
Eternal, right? I mentioned, but it didn't happen that way. It was a barrier for a barrier. Now, because they wanted to set up for the following attack, is that when Shadowburn uses his ultimate here, that they don't have that transcendence to defend, and they can take this with a time bank. That's no longer possible because the Shock were able to respond quickly and hold on to that transcendence, which Violet is doing such a great job of all match long.
Now they're going to have to try to really outplay them if they want to get the cap here on this attack. Determine whether or not this is going to be another eco push and just try to build up those on this attack. Determine whether or not this is going to be another eco push and just try to build up those ults. Shadowburn opposite in from downtown actually.
That's a good lob. Pip getting forced to use trans though.
Not going to have the matrix ready. Shadowburn opposite in from downtown actually managed.
Oh, Banbest is too early on the stun. On the pin.
This time, not going to have the matrix
Yeah, he's way too early.
ready. No one's going to be taken out. Shatter comes down. So many members of the shock. Mounters are down to the back. They're
Oof.
going to be eliminated. Super. Gets
Cruz
rid of
dies.
Cruz. Already one support going to be gone, but him is trying to decent advantage here for the Paris Eternal. This is starting to look more and more winnable for them. They're in on the point. The second tick getting ready to come in. Still 55 seconds on the clock. Can they close it out? Super poof back on the point, and they will just be able
They
to
kept the point.
Good defense here.
win.
Pretty weak time bank though, Achilles. They're going to have a really good defense here. All hope is
I'm trying to see their
not
expressions.
lost, but it is going to be an uphill battle for the rest of this map.
That it is. My win, I say finish. We still have another.
So we cannot contest the point here.
The so-called GOATS team, Paris Eternal, sure hasn't been playing GOATS all that well. No, they've been playing GOATS Heroes, but not GOATS. Well, they tried playing GOATS Threats.
They're just looking for Sombra and then return.
Pushing pretty aggressively out, so there we go. Yeah, okay. For a second, I thought maybe it would be sticking through with the Sombra. Would not have been the weirdest thing by any means.
Yeah, especially not for because Brigitte is just so essential in this meta to save your tanks. That first healing. Taking a lot of time to find the angle to force the Paris Eternal to drop down. They're going to go to the left side. That's where they will commit.
They are waiting in the joke. Even Shadowburn not trying to play up.
Go to the left side. Taking a lot of time to find the angle.
So they speed onto the left.
They're going to go to the left side. That's where they will commit.
They are waiting in the joke. Even Shadowburn not trying to play up onto the high ground, so he doesn't get pinched on. He's going to be staying down with the rest of his team. Gonna operate.
I think they're trying to bait out Cruz and find a pick on Cruz.
Knockback by Cruz, yeah.
That's fine. One taking him onto the low ground. That's now going to be dropping down, matching. Super swinging away. Drops off the point.
Nah, the calls will never be public. I don't think the calls will ever be public, even if you pay for them. There's so much information you can use in the calls. Like, you get all the plans, right? What stops a coach of the opposing team from buying the calls?
He manages to get rid of that best. It's a major pickup, but it will be an exchange on the right hearts. Sound barrier now going to be in from Cruz. Same Spinzy, getting knocked out of the back. Grab going to be online with Sandra. Does he want to use it? Yes, he does. He just goes ahead and pulls the trigger on him, and Shadowbird's already taken.
That's a good counter grab.
Fantastic turnaround, and another going to be online. A lot of damage being traded back on both of
Let's see.
Stun comes in on a Super.
Ben Best
Unable to find the kill over. Toyobi
dies from pin.
give it to Ben Best. It's a major
So they use beat here in order for Finzi to not
pickup,
die.
but it will be an exchange on the Reinhardt. Sound barrier now going to be in from Cruz. Saves Spinzy, getting knocked out of the mech. Grab going to be online with Santra. Does he want to use it? Yes, he does. He just goes ahead and pulls the trigger.
So both teams use the grab.
Shadowbird's already taken Toyobi out of the
Hip uses trance so that they don't die. Shock, they don't need to use the trance here.
mech. Now Maul's going to be
They just reset, right?
a fantastic turnaround and another severe overcommitment from Sinatra.
This is going back to exactly what Ren pointed out during the halftime show here, as some of these timings on these grabs is
I think... Okay, so the casters are talking about Sinatra using the grab, like, making a bad grab.
not for
Already taken Toyobi
But
behind with Santra. Does he want to
I think the intention he has is to force out the trance.
use it? Yes, he does. He just goes
Because Paris, they've been really bad with their
pull the
ults.
trigger on him and
And they have their trance. I think that's the reasoning. I don't think... I'm pretty sure he knows he can't really kill anything, right?
Now going to be in from Cruz. Saves Spinzy, getting knocked out of the mech.
Well, also, they traded Reinhardts.
Grab going to be online with Santra. Does he want to use it? Yes, he
some of the side of the shock that Hip didn't have trance yet, but that was just simply not the case. This is a great start for the Paris Eternal. Remember, they need a massive defense here in order to keep the time bank competitive, and so far, so good.
rallies out from both sides. Major damage there on the shock. And
Now they push in with trance.
Transcendence coming through. They know that Shadowbird does not have a grab available.
And it's so easy for Shock to just get energy, get damage in.
That's that ultimate sound barrier on the way from Moth. Deja vu as they push back up onto the high ground.
Nice
The
move
boot
from
bump
Cruz.
again. Yep, the things are just playing out very similarly. Drop down and
Nice
the
move
boot
from
bump
Cruz.
again. Yep, the things are just playing out.
Nice.
Okay,
Deja vu
worth
as they push
pointing
back
out.
up onto the high ground. Deja vu
Where's
as they push back
Sinatra? I
up
want to
onto
see
the high
Sinatra.
ground.
That's Lucio.
Nice
The
move
boot
from
bump again. Yep, the things are just playing out.
Bubble goes onto Choyobin, but he doesn't want it onto Choyobin, I think. Well, I'm pretty sure.
They drop down.
It was a missed bubble. You see the bubble used on Choyobin here. That's why it went in.
Man, gonna go
So Sinatra just missed the bubble there.
shatter perhaps, and now the sound barrier comes through.
This is great for the Eternal.
Well, Monster
That's a big
makes
kill though on Ben
best,
Best.
so trading
That's a
one
good
back.
recovery.
Another exchange on the right from Toyobin's gonna be knocked out the back. Both bombs
Now to use the bomb plus, how to say, Sinatra he grabs because Choyobin uses his bomb.
gonna be coming through. Double kill for
That's big. Like,
Toyobin. Exchange on the right from Toyobin's
let's see.
just managed to get Ben Best, so trading one
They
back.
killed Choyobin.
Exchange on the right from Toyobin.
He bumps.
Be knocked out the back.
He gets sucked into the grab.
Bombs gonna be coming through.
And Hip, he tried to block the... Yeah, he tried to go for the block in the grab, but he ends up, yeah, not being able to block, right?
Double kill for Toyobin.
I think he should have known that though.
Nothing. Just like that.
Because now, when they go into the second point, they're not gonna have trance. They will have grab though. It's not too bad. Could be worse though.
Trying to do a lap remech and reacts to it. Joyvin calls the remech, and then he drops in the grab right afterwards. Perfect decision making there in that moment.
Into the back,
Super goes for the shatter.
Shadowbird throws in the grab.
Ooh, nice hit.
Toyobin. Into the back, Super looking for that.
Drops in the grab right afterwards. Perfect decision.
This is amazing. Okay, Super, he goes all the way around. All the way around. Let me fix this. Okay, Super goes all the way around. How does he get back here?
there in that moment.
Into the back.
Now he's back. It's like everyone forgot about Super. He's not even low.
Throws in the
He's not even low.
grab and Toyobin takes it away with the defense matrix yet again.
This is
Another
a
one
problem.
denied.
This is a problem.
Major defensive tool not in the hands of the Paris Eternal anymore. San Francisco make their way over onto the point. 4:35 remaining on the clock. Shadowburn taking a lot of damage. You can see they're just trying to stand behind that Rhine shield. Shadow will finally
Great
come
barrier.
out. They do lock up Toyobin, but Island's got the
Vinci eats the grab.
Is ready to go. Vinci firing back. Gets rid of Sinatra's grab. Evening the odds.
Now do trans. And he can trans because there's no grab. And he can farm up their own grab again.
Transcendence first. He was able to come in the second. Both Graviton Surges. It was really weird when everyone on the Eternal was low. That set up the Graviton Surge versus no trans. Shadowburn high energy too. It's a tough fight for the Shock.
More poking out coming through the doorway. Sinatra trying to build up for that grab. He's nearly there. 12-4% to match Shadowburn. He's going to be going.
That's a big book.
Disconnected from his squad. Boosting his way back up, but they say, no, you know what? We're going to come.
Or to use the bubbles.
Does not want to get eaten by Choyobin.
So because there's no bubbles, Super just simply drops down, right? They have bad positioning.
You know what? We're going to come join you.
So the team should be behind Ben Best right now, not outside of his shield. So I think Nico tried to block the Shatter. So he was here. Then he steps to the left. Shadowburn, he almost could block it with bubble, but cooldown. That's just a good good grab.
Position and on the fly make strategic calls very quickly, and when you only have 1 minute of time, all of those small things.
This is a strat they used to play in Season 1 as well.
Actually will take 15 seconds away, perhaps even more. Let's see how quickly they react to this. This may mean, though, that we see Shadowburn Genji, so, hey, that's exciting.
Okay, they're pushing their way back. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you guys getting excited about the Bastion, but if you want Paris Eternal to take this with 45 seconds left, you better give them your energy right now, because they need it to pull off that reverse
Shadowburn
save.
Genji!
Here we go! All right. Are you excited?
Legendary Genji, one of the first famous Genji players in the world when Overwatch League was released.
I feel giddy. I'm so excited right now.
Let's see if he can make this happen. He's only got 30 seconds. Excited as we are, it's going to have to be big. He's going to have one for the highlight reels here.
All right, getting tagged up. The grenades bouncing their way through into the back. They're timing this one as well as they can. They get the distraction into the back. The Sombra, Nico trying to tick up.
They think they're gonna win this with dive.
Where he can. The rest of them
I just want to show you something here. I just want to show you something.
the distraction.
So Paris, currently, they're very close to each other, right? They're very close.
Into the back. The Sombra, Nico
Now,
trying to tick up where he can.
Bruce is up here. Shadowburn is here. Diva over there, like under the high ground. Winston above high ground. Like, what's the goal? What is Nico gonna do on Sombra, for example?
The rest of them going to be pushing forward. It's not over onto the side of the turn. Forward. Man.
What's the expectation here?
Burn's got best, and now Shadowburn going to be taken out. The Genji, so short-lived, it would seem. Now, a miracle required to even get the tick on A. They tried to go for it to get the style.
I don't know.
Points, but it falls short. They get halfway to that one tick. As Nico has to jump back on the translocator. Cruz comes through, tagging back in, lands on a trap. And that will be the hold.
And that is full now for Legendary Genji. He's burned with 20. See when the time make the same way. And despite the Bastion, it's only one shot you've got in the
round of potatoes. Prize.
Yep.
San Francisco Shock. Do manage to take
They would have a better chance of just playing goats, in my opinion. Big point.
And pick up a map victory there would certainly be good for Paris. So let's see what they can get done.
We talked about the Shock, you know, this being
Sure, you're gonna take a lot of damage and spam, but
4-0 here makes it much more likely that they will be able to make playoffs. So absolutely essential that they close this out. The Eternal want that draw, the longer season here. And we'll have a match as well next week. But, you know, it's already, playoff chances are already pretty dead.
2:30 remaining, just a single tick, all that they need. Fire Strike, pretty meaty there for Benfast. They're stunned up right into the front, but now Vinci going lower and lower. Tries to get a pin there, but is unable to lock down the Diva.
So they're holding far up, but they still have less ults.
Bit of a disconnect. Have to go ahead and gather back up. But now Fincy going lower. Fire strike.
I just want to show you again.
For Ben Fast.
So they clearly focus on Super here.
Stunned up.
They try to boop
Into
him.
the front, but
After they get the boop, there's no stun though.
now Fincy going lower and lower. Try-
So Nico, right now he's with Ben Best. He's right with Ben Best now, right?
He's seeing the pin there, but is unable
What is he doing now?
to lock down.
He's like watching. He's like saying, guys, I'm watching you. I'm gonna back. Watch me.
Mediva. Bit of a disconnect. Have to go ahead and gather back up. And Ben, however, under a lot of pressure around
You don't even need to boop people. It's a 6v5.
corner, and him gonna be taken down. Violent opens things up for the shock, and with these kills, that's just gonna be it. That's all she wrote. 3-0 gonna be rolling through as they gain this tick. The San Francisco Shock